Twin flame, listen to this very carefully. This is not just another new moon, and this is not just another energetic message. Something is locking in now. The final alignment of January has activated, and this alignment does not open possibilities. It closes distortions. You may already feel it. Not excitement, not emotional intensity, but a strange inner stillness. A quiet shift inside your body. A sense that something is reorganizing without you trying to make it happen. Twin flame, this alignment is not working on the connection first. It is working on you. Because this new moon is not designed to activate manifestation. It is designed to activate coherence. The version of you that could survive emotional limbo cannot remain in this field anymore. The version of you that waited, hoped, interpreted signs, and tolerated uncertainty is being gently but firmly removed from the timeline. This is why the energy feels different. This alignment does not pull you toward someone. It pulls you back to yourself. Twin flame, if you have felt a sudden emotional calm, if the urge to chase clarity disappeared, if your mind stopped looping around the connection, if something inside you simply said, "I'm done waiting," that is not detachment. That is alignment. Because the final energetic correction of January is activating now. And the new moon marks the moment when the soul stops negotiating with distortion. This is the point where the twin flame path stops being emotional and becomes structural. Timelines that were sustained by fantasy lose support. Connections that were sustained by imbalance lose momentum. Dynamics that were sustained by hope instead of embodiment begin to dissolve. Not painfully, cleanly. Twin flame, this alignment does not care about how much you love. It responds to how much you are aligned. It responds to what your nervous system is ready to hold. It responds to who you have become through this journey. This is why some connections will suddenly move forward now, quickly and quietly, and others will close without drama, because the new moon does not amplify emotion. It amplifies truth, and truth reorganizes timelines without asking permission. Twin flame, you are not being prepared for reunion. You are being prepared for coherence, for a life that no longer needs emotional suspension, for relationships that no longer require self-abandonment, for connections that can exist in reality, not in spiritual waiting rooms. Stay with me, because I'm going to explain exactly what January's final alignment is activating in twin flames, why this new moon feels so different from every other energy shift. What is happening inside the divine masculine right now? Why the divine feminine feels a sudden internal correction, and how this alignment decides which timelines can continue and which must end. Twin flame. This is not about what you will receive. This is about who you are finally becoming. Twin flame. This chapter explains why this new moon feels very different from every other energetic opening you have experienced before. Because this is not an invitation to begin something new. It is a correction. January's final alignment does not operate on intention. It operates on coherence. Throughout this month, your system has been slowly pulled out of emotional suspension. Old expectations, unfinished attachments, and distorted narratives around the connection have been losing energetic support, even if you did not consciously notice it happening. Now, with the new moon activating, that process becomes visible in the field. This alignment is not amplifying desire. It is amplifying alignment between your inner structure and your real path. That is why the shift you are feeling is not emotional intensity. It is stabilization. Twin flame. This final alignment works directly on timelines, not romantic timelines, nervous system timelines. The way you have been relating to the connection through waiting, emotional availability without reciprocity, hypervigilance, spiritual justification for imbalance, cannot be sustained under this new moon. The field is reorganizing around embodiment. This means your body must be able to hold what your soul claims it wants. And that is exactly what this alignment tests. The new moon is not opening a dream version of union. It is opening a clean structural field where only what is compatible with your current level of self-regulation can remain active. Twin flame. This is why many divine feminines suddenly feel a quiet internal shift. Not excitement, not anticipation, but a subtle internal boundary forming. Your system stops leaning forward. Your emotional posture becomes upright. You are no longer energetically waiting for someone to arrive into readiness. That is alignment. This final January activation removes the energetic support from distorted attachment patterns. Patterns such as holding emotional space for someone who is not present, confusing intensity with connection, confusing spiritual meaning with relational reality, and remaining available to dynamics that cost your nervous system stability. The new moon does not collapse these patterns through pain. It collapses them through neutrality. They simply stop activating you. And when something no longer activates your nervous system, the timeline that depended on it dissolves. Twin flame, this alignment also affects the divine masculine deeply, but not in the way people expect. It does not immediately activate action. It activates internal pressure for coherence. The masculine nervous system begins to lose tolerance for internal contradiction. The part of him that could suppress emotional truth, delay responsibility, or live split between awareness and behavior begins to feel increasingly uncomfortable, not emotionally, physiologically. The body resists fragmentation under this alignment. This is why some masculines experience restlessness, internal tension, withdrawal, or a strong urge to simplify life during this new moon window. Their system is being reorganized. At the same time, the divine feminine system begins to release chronic anticipation. The emotional scanning stops. The need to interpret signs weakens. The internal question, what is happening, loses urgency. Because the body recognizes that something has already shifted structurally. Twin flame, this alignment does not respond to longing. It responds to integrity. Integrity between what you feel, what you tolerate, what you embody, and what you allow to remain in your life. That is why this new moon is not creating new emotional stories. It is closing unresolved energetic loops. This is also why some connections will move forward very quickly after this alignment. Not because love suddenly increased, but because resistance collapsed. And other connections will end quietly, not because love disappeared, but because coherence replaced attachment. January's final alignment does not ask if you still care. It asks if your nervous system is ready to live what your heart has been imagining. And the new moon marks the moment when the universe stops negotiating with distortion. From this point forward, only timelines that support your embodied stability can remain open. Everything else loses energetic fuel, not dramatically, naturally. Twin flame. This activation is not preparing you for reunion. It is preparing you for alignment with your real self. And once that alignment stabilizes, the connection can only move in one of two directions: forward in truth, or closed with clarity. Twin flame. The reason this alignment feels so different is because it is not working on your emotional layer. It is working on your structure. Most energetic shifts you have experienced on this journey activated emotion first. They amplified longing, they intensified connection. They created hope, anticipation, and inner movement. this one does not. January's final alignment, combined with this new moon, is not stimulating your heart. It is reorganizing your nervous system, and that changes everything. Twin flame, emotional activations expand feeling. Structural alignments reorganize identity. That is why this moment does not feel dramatic. It feels quiet, heavy in a subtle way, clear in a way that does not require explanation. You may notice that your emotional reaction to the connection has softened, even though your awareness of the bond remains. That is not loss of feeling. That is loss of distortion. This alignment removes the energetic support for inner contradiction. Before, it was possible to want one thing and tolerate another, to feel aligned with truth and still accept emotional inconsistency, to recognize your worth and still remain energetically available to situations that did not meet it. This new moon does not allow that split anymore. The system is being asked to unify. Twin flame, this is why this alignment feels heavier in the body than in the heart. Your nervous system is being recalibrated to a new baseline of coherence. The old emotional posture, leaning forward, waiting, holding space, staying available without reciprocity, no longer feels natural. Not because you decided to stop, because your body no longer supports that position. This is what makes this alignment different from spiritual awakenings, emotional purges, or energetic openings you have experienced before. Those activated awareness. This one activates embodiment. You are not being asked to understand more. You are being asked to live differently. Twin flame, this alignment also feels different because it is not offering comfort. It is offering correction. The universe is not soothing emotional wounds here. It is removing the energetic conditions that kept those wounds active. That is why the change feels neutral rather than emotional. You may notice fewer emotional spikes, less obsessive thinking, less need to revisit the story, less internal conversation about what should happen. This does not mean you stopped caring. It means your nervous system stopped feeding the loop. And when the nervous system stops feeding a loop, the timeline built around it collapses. This is why so many twin flames feel a sudden internal maturity during this new moon window. Not growth through pain, growth through stabilization. Twin flame, another reason this alignment feels different is because it is not focused on the bond. It is focused on your self-coherence. For the first time in a long while, the field is not amplifying connection energy. It is amplifying self-alignment energy. Your sense of identity begins to reorganize around your own life instead of the relationship narrative. Your attention returns to your body, to your work, to your direction, to your daily reality. This is not detachment, it is relocation of power. This alignment shifts the center of gravity away from the connection and back into you. And that is exactly why it feels so unfamiliar. Twin flame, for the divine masculine, this alignment feels different in another way. It increases internal pressure for consistency, not for emotional expression, for coherence between what he knows and how he lives. The part of him that could postpone decisions, suppress emotional truth, or remain internally split becomes uncomfortable in a way that cannot be explained logically. He may not suddenly reach out. He may not suddenly speak, but his internal tolerance for misalignment drops sharply. That is structural change, not emotional awakening. At the same time, the divine feminine experiences the opposite sensation. Less pressure, less emotional urgency, less need to resolve anything immediately, because the system recognizes that something fundamental is already being corrected. Twin flame, this is why this alignment does not feel like a turning point in the story. It feels like a turning point in you. It is the moment where your nervous system stops agreeing to live in emotional suspension. Not because you made a decision, because the field no longer supports that position. This new moon is not opening a new emotional chapter. It is closing an old structural pattern. The pattern of waiting for alignment to come from someone else. The pattern of staying energetically open to instability. The pattern of confusing spiritual meaning with relational compatibility. This alignment does not destroy connections. It clarifies whether they can exist in embodied reality. That is why this shift feels so grounded, so sober, so clean. Twin flame, you are not experiencing a spiritual high. You are experiencing a nervous system reset, and that is exactly what prepares the next movement on your path. Twin flame, what changes in the divine masculine now is not his feelings. It is his internal tolerance for misalignment. This final January alignment and the new moon activation do not create emotional awakening. They remove the internal buffering that allowed him to stay split between awareness and behavior. Before, he could feel the truth of the connection and still postpone action. He could recognize emotional reality and still delay responsibility. He could sense what needed to change and still remain inside familiar survival patterns. That internal gap was energetically supported. Now it is not. The masculine nervous system begins to reject internal contradiction, not as emotion, as discomfort, as pressure, as restlessness, as loss of regulation. Twin flame. This is why many masculines feel suddenly unsettled without understanding why. They are not becoming more emotional. They are becoming less able to suppress. The internal tolerance window for emotional avoidance shrinks. The body no longer allows the same level of disconnection without cost. This is not guilt. It is coherence pressure. The alignment is reorganizing the masculine's relationship with responsibility, not moral responsibility. Nervous system responsibility. The capacity to remain present with emotional truth without dissociating, rationalizing, or escaping. That is what is being trained now. This is why his attention may shift inward. He may become quieter, more introspective, more selective with stimulation, more withdrawn from superficial engagement. Not because of sadness, because his system is reducing noise to integrate structural change. Twin flame. This alignment also destabilizes old identity anchors. Roles he played, masks he wore, ways of functioning that were built around emotional avoidance. They begin to feel heavy, artificial, unfulfilling, but instead of emotional crisis, what he experiences is identity friction, a sense that something does not fit anymore, even if he cannot name what. This is exactly how structural change manifests in the masculine, not through emotional expression, through loss of resonance with his old way of being. Another key change is this. His body begins to experience emotional truth as unavoidable, not because someone is forcing him to feel, because the internal filter that blocked emotional information is thinning. This is why old memories surface, why unresolved emotions return, why he may feel distracted, restless, or mentally foggy. The system is integrating unfinished emotional material. Twin flame. This alignment does not immediately produce action. It produces internal alignment pressure. And pressure must stabilize before behavior changes. That is why many divine feminines misinterpret this phase. They expect external movement, but this alignment works below behavior. It restructures the internal foundation. Only after the foundation stabilizes can action become coherent. Another important shift is that the masculine begins to feel the consequences of inaction more clearly, not emotionally, physiologically. Procrastination creates tension. Avoidance creates discomfort. Delay creates internal stress. This is new. Before, delay regulated him. Now, delay dysregulates him. This is one of the strongest signs that the alignment is active. The nervous system stops rewarding avoidance. And when avoidance is no longer rewarded, the body begins to search for a new regulation strategy. That strategy is presence, but presence must be trained, not forced. Twin flame, this alignment also removes his ability to remain emotionally available in fantasy while unavailable in reality. The split collapses. If he feels, the body now pushes for coherence. If he knows, the system pushes for consistency. If he recognizes, the field pushes for embodiment. This is not pressure from the outside. It is pressure from alignment. And this is exactly why some masculines will move forward quietly after this window. Not emotionally, structurally. They will simplify life, close old cycles, reorganize priorities, create internal space, not for the connection, for coherence. Because coherence must exist before any real relationship can. This is the change, not dramatic, but irreversible. Twin flame, the sudden internal shift you feel now is not emotional, it is regulatory. Your nervous system is responding to the structural correction taking place in the field. For a long time on this journey, your body was unconsciously compensating for instability. You were emotionally open in an unresolved field. You remained energetically available inside ambiguity. You held internal space for something that had not yet become real. This required vigilance, not obsession. Vigilance. Your system stayed alert because the field was inconsistent. Now, with January's final alignment and this new moon activation, the inconsistency loses energetic support, and your body reacts immediately, not with excitement, with release. This is why the shift feels subtle but profound. You may notice less emotional reactivity, less urge to check, interpret, or wait, less internal pressure to figure out the connection, less emotional posture of leaning forward. Your system stands upright again. That is alignment. Twin flame, many divine feminines misinterpret this as detachment. It is not. It is nervous system neutrality. Neutrality means your body no longer needs to regulate itself around uncertainty. This is also why your attention naturally returns to your own life, to your body, to your routines, to your direction, to practical reality. this is not abandonment of the bond. It is withdrawal of compensation. For a long time, you carried more regulatory load in the field. Now, the field corrects. Your body is allowed to rest. Twin flame, another reason you feel this shift so strongly is because you never blocked emotional awareness the way the masculine learned to. You did not learn safety through emotional shutdown. You learned safety through awareness and adaptation. So when the field becomes more coherent, your system immediately senses the reduction of background tension. Your breathing changes. Your internal rhythm slows. Your mental loops soften. This is physiology, not mindset. Twin flame, this internal shift also prepares you for a very important transition. You stop organizing your emotional world around the connection, not because you stop caring, but because your system no longer accepts emotional suspension as a valid posture. You begin to recognize how much of your identity was quietly oriented around waiting for alignment. This new moon breaks that pattern, not forcefully, gently. Your nervous system begins to expect reciprocity, consistency, and presence as baseline, not as exception. This is one of the deepest upgrades on the twin flame path. Because real union cannot happen when one nervous system is organized around hope instead of reality. Another important part of this shift is the loss of urgency. You no longer feel pressured to fix, clarify, or move the connection forward. You trust the structural correction more than emotional timing. This is maturity. This is embodiment. Twin flame, this alignment also restores something you may not have noticed you lost: your relationship with yourself. When emotional attention returns to your own body and life, your energy stops being distributed externally. You become whole again, not spiritually, physiologically. And that wholeness is what finally allows the bond to exist without distortion, or to complete without pain. This is why the divine feminine shift is not dramatic. It is stabilizing. It does not take you somewhere new. It brings you back to yourself. And from that place, the rest of the alignment can unfold without you being emotionally pulled into it. Twin flame, this alignment is collapsing timelines that were built on distortion. Not distortion of love, distortion of structure. For a long time, many twin flame connections were sustained by narratives that made emotional imbalance feel meaningful. Stories that spiritualized waiting, stories that justified inconsistency, stories that framed emotional unavailability as part of a divine plan rather than as a nervous system limitation. Those timelines were not wrong. they were transitional. But under January's final alignment and this new moon activation, transitional structures can no longer remain active. The field is reorganizing around embodiment, and embodiment exposes distortion very quickly. Twin flame, a distorted timeline, is any relational path that requires you to remain emotionally available to something that is not available to you in reality. It is any dynamic that asks your nervous system to stay open to instability while postponing lived reciprocity. It is any connection that only exists clearly in interpretation, spiritual framing, or emotional projection, but not in consistent presence. These timelines were once supported because they served awakening, they taught awareness, they expanded perception, they activated growth. Now they block integration, and the alignment removes their energetic fuel. This collapse does not happen through dramatic endings. It happens through emotional deactivation. The story loses grip. The intensity weakens. The mental narrative fades. The emotional urgency dissolves. Not because love disappears, because regulation replaces stimulation. Twin flame. This is why many people feel strangely calm when distorted timelines collapse. The nervous system experiences relief, not grief. Relief because it is no longer required to hold contradictory realities at once. Relief because the internal posture of maybe dissolves. Relief because the system finally receives permission to stop waiting. This alignment also collapses fantasy timelines, not romantic imagination, structural fantasy. The idea that emotional depth alone can sustain a relationship. The belief that connection intensity equals relational readiness. The hope that awareness will eventually turn into behavior without nervous system work. The new moon removes support from these assumptions. It does not punish them. It exposes their limitations. Twin flame, distorted timelines also include inner commitments you made without realizing, staying emotionally loyal to a potential instead of to your own life, organizing your identity around a future that requires someone else to change, holding emotional space for someone who has not claimed that space in reality. These internal contracts quietly dissolve under this alignment, not through decision, through loss of relevance. Your body simply stops responding to the narrative. This is structural collapse, not emotional loss. Another important effect of this collapse is timeline separation. Not all twin flame paths remain synchronized. after this alignment. Those who embody regulation, presence, and responsibility move forward into more grounded relational realities. Those who continue to rely on emotional avoidance, fantasy, or spiritual justification for inaction begin to drift onto different experiential timelines. This is not judgment, it is resonance. The new moon activates compatibility of nervous systems, not compatibility of stories. This is why, after this window, many connections no longer feel magnetically charged. The magnetism was sustained by unresolved tension. As tension resolves, attraction reorganizes, and only coherent structures remain attractive. Twin flame, this collapse is irreversible, not because you cannot reconnect, but because you cannot return to distortion once your nervous system has reorganized. You cannot unlearn embodiment. You cannot go back to emotional suspension without feeling internal conflict. That is the real closing of a timeline. Not separation, structural maturity, and from that maturity, only aligned connections can continue. Everything else completes, quietly, cleanly. Twin flame. This alignment is not processed by your mind first. It is processed by your body. That is why so many of you feel physical and nervous system changes before you fully understand what is happening energetically. January's final alignment and this new moon activation work directly on the way your nervous system holds safety, attachment, and expectation. This is not an emotional cleansing. It is a regulatory reset. For a long time, your body learned to stay activated around the connection. There was constant emotional scanning, subtle anticipation, internal readiness, and a background tension that never fully turned off. Even when you were calm, your system remained slightly forward-leaning. That posture was created by uncertainty. Now, under this alignment, that posture becomes incompatible. The nervous system begins to reorganize around stability instead of emotional stimulation. Twin flame. This is why many of you feel changes such as a quieter mind without effort, less need to check your phone or think about timing, less emotional charge when the connection crosses your mind, more awareness of your physical body, and a stronger desire for routine, grounding, and real-world structure. This is not spiritual detachment. It is physiological regulation. The body is exiting a long-term state of relational alert. At the same time, some twin flames experience temporary physical sensations during this window. Unusual tiredness, heaviness in the chest, tension in the shoulders or stomach, short periods of emotional flatness, restlessness without a clear cause. These sensations are not negative. They are signs that the nervous system is releasing an old baseline and searching for a new one. Twin flame, your body is learning how to exist without unresolved emotional pull. That is a big change. When the system has been trained to associate connection with uncertainty, intensity becomes familiar. Even suffering becomes familiar. Stability feels unfamiliar at first. This is why some people feel slightly disoriented when alignment arrives. Not sad, disoriented, because the internal environment is changing. Another important shift happening in the body during this alignment is the collapse of emotional hyperfocus. Before, your nervous system prioritized the connection as a central reference point. Your emotional radar was tuned toward it. Now that priority softens. Your attention begins to redistribute toward your own physical life, your work, your health, your environment, your future. This is not rejection of the bond. It is restoration of self-orientation. Twin flame, this alignment also affects how your body responds to uncertainty. Before, uncertainty activated emotional movement, analysis, interpretation, spiritual seeking, emotional self-soothing through meaning. Now, uncertainty no longer stimulates the same internal reaction. The body no longer tries to resolve ambiguity emotionally. It waits for reality. That is a profound shift. It means your nervous system is no longer organized around potential. It is organized around presence. For the divine masculine, this same alignment often creates a very different bodily experience. Instead of release, it creates internal pressure. The body begins to resist emotional suppression. Unexpressed truth creates tension. Delayed decisions create stress. Avoidance creates restlessness. This is how the alignment trains coherence, not by creating emotional conversations, by creating bodily discomfort around internal misalignment. For the divine feminine, the body usually experiences relief first. For the divine masculine, the body usually experiences exposure first. Both are expressions of the same regulatory correction. Twin flame, the most important thing to understand about this phase is this. Your nervous system is being prepared to live a different relational reality, not a more spiritual one, a more stable one. Whether that stability expresses itself through union or through separation is not decided emotionally. It is decided by what your body can now sustain without entering dysregulation. This alignment teaches your body a new language, the language of consistency, the language of safety without distance, the language of connection without emotional adrenaline. And once your nervous system learns that language, you cannot return to the old way of relating. Not comfortably, not unconsciously. This is why this new moon window feels so decisive. The body is closing the chapter long before the story finishes externally, and that is exactly how true alignment begins. Twin flame, this new moon window is not asking you to manifest. It is asking you to stabilize. For a long time on this journey, your focus was directed outward, toward timing, signs, emotional meaning, and connection outcomes. You learned to search for energetic confirmation that something was unfolding. This alignment changes the assignment. Your task now is not to create movement. It is to become coherent with the life you are already living. During this new moon window, the most powerful action you can take is not relational. It is physiological. You must bring your nervous system back into the present. That means grounding yourself in simple, real structure. Sleep, routine, hydration, movement, food, physical environment, boundaries. These are not mundane acts, they are regulatory anchors. Twin flame, this alignment will not stabilize you through thought. It stabilizes you through embodied rhythm. This is why many people feel pulled to simplify during this window. To clean, to reorganize, to reduce social noise, to create order in physical space. Your body is looking for external coherence to match internal reorganization. Another important instruction during this new moon window is this: do not emotionally lean toward uncertainty. Do not hold emotional space for outcomes that do not exist yet. Do not keep your nervous system open to ambiguity. This is subtle, but it is essential. You are being asked to remove emotional availability from unresolved timelines. Not with force, with dignity. Twin flame, this also means you must stop searching for confirmation. This alignment is not responsive to seeking. It is responsive to self-consistency. The more you look outward for signs, the more you pull your nervous system back into anticipation. Anticipation is the old posture. Presence is the new one. During this window, it is also very important that you do not attempt to emotionally process the connection with others in an excessive way. Talking repeatedly about what might happen, what it means, or how you feel can keep your nervous system activated in the old loop. This is not repression. It is integration. Let the body settle. Let the alignment complete itself. Twin flame, another crucial instruction, is to avoid making emotional decisions driven by urgency. This alignment is not pressuring you to act. It is teaching you to wait for clarity in reality, not clarity in interpretation. Do not force conversations. Do not demand closure. Do not test the connection. The field is already restructuring. Interference only creates noise. Your role is to remain internally stable while the external timeline reorganizes. This is one of the most mature stages of the twin flame journey because it removes the illusion that you can move a timeline through emotional intention. You cannot. You can only become aligned with the one that is meant to continue. Twin flame, during this new moon window, the most powerful signal you send to the field is this: my nervous system belongs to my life, not to uncertainty, not to waiting, not to emotional suspension. This single internal shift changes everything, and it is what allows the final chapter of this alignment to unfold cleanly. Twin flame, this final January alignment and new moon activation are not deciding who you end up with. They are deciding what kind of relationship your nervous system can now sustain. For a long time, the twin flame journey was interpreted through destiny, signs, and emotional intensity, but this alignment is stripping the story down to something much more real. Capacity. Union is not created by recognition. It is created by regulation. Two people can feel the bond deeply and still be unable to live together in emotional reality. This alignment makes that difference visible. If both nervous systems can now remain present under emotional activation without withdrawal, avoidance, control, or collapse, then the path toward union becomes structurally possible. Not guaranteed, possible. Because possibility now depends on embodiment, not on desire. Twin flame, if union happens after this window, it will not feel like a dramatic breakthrough. It will feel simple, grounded, clear. The connection will stop being intense and start being usable. Communication will stabilize. Emotional availability will become consistent. There will be fewer highs and lows, more predictability, more emotional safety. That is not less love. That is mature love. Now, if separation happens instead, it will also look very different from what you may fear. It will not come with emotional collapse. It will come with internal closure. Your system will no longer feel pulled toward the unresolved. Your attention will naturally return to your life. The emotional charge around the connection will soften. not through effort, through loss of nervous system engagement. This is what real separation looks like at this stage. Not heartbreak, completion. Twin flame. This alignment is correcting a very deep misunderstanding. The goal of this journey was never to secure a specific relationship. It was to rewire how you relate to yourself, to safety, to intimacy, and to emotional responsibility. Whether you walk forward with this person or not, that work remains, and it cannot be undone. This is why this alignment feels final, not in outcome, in identity. You will not be able to organize your emotional world the way you used to. You will not be able to tolerate emotional inconsistency the same way. You will not be able to remain emotionally available to unresolved dynamics without feeling internal conflict. Your nervous system has upgraded. Twin flame, union, and separation are not opposite outcomes here. They are both expressions of coherence. One expresses coherence through shared presence. The other expresses coherence through self-alignment. Both restore your life to the foreground. Both remove emotional suspension. Both close distorted timelines. Both allow you to move forward without carrying relational tension in your body. This is what this alignment truly determines. Not who you choose, who you become capable of being. And once your nervous system reorganizes around stability instead of longing, the rest of your path becomes much clearer. Not because the universe tells you, because your body does. And your body no longer lie about what it can and cannot hold.